I'd like to ask Nipper, and so Nipper's going to represent the council here and speak on the council's position, and Peter Franks is here to answer any questions if Nipper needs support.
Thanks, Kathy. Everybody hear that? All right, a couple of things. Firstly, I have to apologise for the Mayor. He couldn't make it tonight, he had a prior engagement. I also want to point out that the fellow councillors that are here, Councillor Wyatt, Graham, Deputy Mayor Alan Pedersen, and Councillor Toppin was here before. She may have had to leave, she had to go to Cairns. I've got Peter Franks, the CEO, up here with me, just to answer any questions that I can't answer. I didn't draw the short straw, I actually volunteered. I'm beginning to wonder why, but my role here tonight is to point out what our role is in this process. Currently, as you've heard, the terms of reference for the EIS have been issued to the proponents or the applicant. During the beginning, where submissions could be made, our planners did make comments to the Coordinator General regarding the terms of reference on several points. And we can talk about them later if you want to. Our next opportunity for input is when the draft EIS is released, or the Coordinator General may approach Council asking for advice or comment on specific issues. When the Coordinator General finalises and releases the report, the proponent may elect to do a development application. This then would follow the same process as any other development application. However, the EIS will form the large part of their application, and we can't or cannot request any more information. The development application would then be assessed on the plan. That's our role. That's our role from now on. Basically, I can't take up 10 minutes of your time. So I'm here for answers, questions, tomatoes, whatever.
Can you please use the microphone, because we're recording this, so we need to have good sound.
That's been done on the property, then is that illegal?
You're talking in regards to the dam?
In regards to that they don't have what you've just said.
The dam, yes.
Been approved yet?
The dam wasn't being built without the application. When we became aware of it, we went out, stopped it. They put an application in. There's been lots of conditions put on. They actually begin work on repairing it and fixing it this Friday, I believe. And they have till the 12th of December to fix it.
And have they been fined like anybody else would be?
No comment.
No. Strange. I would have been if it was my property.
As council, we don't comment when we've issued fines or not to anyone.
How convenient.
Yes, Sarah.
And that's not only for the dam. What about the deforesting the big fire?
Can you please wait, Debbie?
Never mind the dam, what about the deforesting of the regrowth that was there and the huge fires that we saw? He just razed all the trees to the ground. Now what about the existing wildlife that was with that?
We've actually reported it to the state. That's a state issue. I know that's a cop-out, but we've done what we can.
But that shows they don't care about the environment and KURANDA and why people live here. That is the problem. That's why
Can you just repeat that question, please?
Was a state
comment.
Oh no, I was just making the comment that they're already doing all this destruction, and it shows that they don't care because they haven't done the proper procedures, the proper approvals. It shows it's not an eco-resort because they don't care about the environment. They're destroying it before it's even started, and people are offended by it. I'm offended. My other comment, which I have an issue with MAREEBA Shire Council with, is I moved here and I spent $500,000 of my hard-earned money, like many other people here, to have a rural residential lifestyle. I brought my children here and I want them to grow up in a place that is like that and they can make it their home. This is not a rural residential development, right? And I don't see, everybody else has to abide by the planning scheme, but not these people. They can choose to have a different use of the land and change it. It doesn't matter if the rest of it is rural residential. Theirs isn't, and that's what's wrong.
They will make the application, but it will be assessed against the current plan.
The current plan does not allow for small blocks for little houses at 600 by 600. I'm sorry, that's not rural residential. I don't want to live like that. Now I'm going to have to move. And you know what? We should all move if they do this, because it's not acceptable. Why is it that all these people here are not included, that we don't get to have a say?
Effectively, anybody in this room who owns land has a legal right to make any application they want on that land. If you agree with it or disagree with it is irrelevant. They're entitled to make an application. That's not to say it's going to be approved. And that's the key message which the local member came across has said. They are entitled to make an application. They've got to jump through these hoops for their EIS. If they get if the Coordinator General then approves, says yes, it can proceed and here's some conditions, they still have to make an application to council, and council still has to assess it against the planning scheme. So what they've got is an idea. It's your next door neighbour comes in and decides to build a monstrosity of a house. They're still entitled to apply for it. This is the key message. If they're entitled to apply for it, you're entitled to apply for anything, to do anything on your land. It still has to be assessed and a decision has to be made. And we're going through that process. Now, I know vast majority of these people in this room would love the councillors to stand up here and say, we don't want this, we're behind this community, we're going to stop this development. That's what you'd like to hear, and I know. Okay. However, if these councillors said that, they would be shooting you in the foot. Because, can I finish? The reality is, if this process follows through, the Coordinator General comes out with a report, it then gets tabled to council as a development application. These councillors then have to sit and decide on it. If the councillors today say we don't support it, in 18 months' time, when KUR-WORLD put their application into council and council then refuses it, on the grounds what you're saying, planning scheme, etc., KUR-WORLD will walk into the planning court and say, these councillors 18 months ago, without all the information in front of them, made a decision. And that decision preempts it, and therefore the court will turn around and say that decision is irrelevant, and the court will make the call.
But I also make the point, because I've spoken to the Coordinator General's department, that they can override the council, that they don't need you to make the decision and they can override it.
Absolutely.
What is the point?
If the councillors said today, all of them, we don't support this at all, there's a high likelihood of the Coordinator General going to the Minister and saying, these councillors have prejudged this, take over the decision. Straight up, and it's happened. A large number of these big coordinated projects, some of them come back to councils, a lot of them are taken on by the state. And if council prejudges this, if council comes out and says, we're against this project, what will happen is the Coordinator General, the state could take it over, but certainly when it gets into court, and if somebody's prepared to spend this amount of money, they will take it to court. They will win in court simply by a silly statement made at this stage.
But my point was, sorry, I'm not going to hold control, but my point is, regardless, if all this happens and it's all done according to what you're saying, right? At the end of the process, even if the community says no, even if you were, as council, were to say no, the state government can still override you because it's a Coordinated General project, and they have the right to say this will proceed.
Correct.
So that is what I think is unfair, because if the community says no, the council says no.
Can I just point something out? Council is an arm in a way, of the state government. So if you're getting that answer from the state, then that is actually what can happen. So we live in this state.
Is the Coordinator General an elected position?
No.
Can we ask for the microphone? Can I ask for the microphone, please? No. Can you just hold your question, please? We've got 3 people in front of you there, actually. Sarah, that was the next person there behind. Yeah. We're just going to have to put you in order because I can see there's lots of hands going up. Just be patient. Well, we're now into the 30 minutes, I'm afraid.
I just had a question. Can we expect a reduction in our rates because the land values around that area have got to have been reduced? And if you wanted to leave, you couldn't sell your place at the moment because of this proposal.
Effectively, I couldn't make a comment, are they going to go up or not? Would this project increase the value of the land in this area or decrease it? Don't know. But effectively, it should make no difference. But I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball.